Mini sessions. Love them or hate them, they're one of the fastest ways photographers try to fill their calendar. But here's the problem. So many minis end up being underpriced, overbooked, and way more exhausting than profitable. If you've ever walked away from a mini session day thinking, why did I do this to myself? This episode is for you. I'm going to break down exactly what should go into a mini session, how to design them so they're profitable and stress-free, and the simple shifts that turn minis from a headache into a client magnet. Mini sessions get tossed around a lot in photography circles. You'll hear things like, just run minis, they're easy money, or minis are the key to booking more clients. And while yes, minis can absolutely be a powerful part of your business, they're also one of the easiest ways to burn yourself out if you don't structure them well. The truth is, not all minis are created equal. Some photographers thrive on them, others end up hating them. The difference comes down to one thing: how you design them. Let's start with the basics. What even counts as a mini session? It's not just a shorter shoot. It's a completely different product from your full sessions, and you need to treat it that way. A mini session is a bite-sized, lower investment option that gives clients a taste of your work, often tied to a season, theme, or special occasion. It's designed to be quick, streamlined, and repeatable. But here's the kicker. Minis only work if you're intentional about what you include and what you don't. The first thing to include in a mini session is clear boundaries around time. Minis are not shorter full sessions. They're their own category. If your minis run 45 minutes long, with multiple outfit changes and full galleries of images, guess what? That's not a mini session. That's a discounted full session, and it's a fast track to resentment. A true mini should be between 10-20 minutes. That's it. Enough time to get variety, but short enough to keep the schedule moving. The second element is limited images. Minis are not about giving the whole kitchen sink. They're about delivering a small, curated set that gives clients value but doesn't eat up your editing time. For example, you might include 5 edited images with the option to purchase more. Or maybe you set it at 10 images, no more. The point is that minis create scarcity of time, of images, of availability. That scarcity is what makes them work. If you hand over 40 digitals for $200, you're not running minis, you're giving away your business. Next, you need a theme or hook. Minis without a purpose are just discounted sessions. The most successful minis I've ever run had a clear theme: fall leaves, holiday setups, spring blooms, back to school, even pet-focused days. Themes do 2 things. They give clients a reason to book now, and they make your marketing easier because you're not just saying, photos anyone. You're saying, come capture your kids in their Halloween costumes with a custom backdrop, or get your family Christmas card photos done in one simple, cozy session. That urgency and relevance drive bookings. Another thing to include: a streamlined client process. Minis only make sense if you batch them. That means one location, one backdrop, one setup. No driving all over town. No creating 10 different looks. You want to maximize efficiency so you can shoot back to back. That's where the profit comes in. When I run minis, I design the day so families are scheduled in 15-minute increments with 5 minutes buffer in between. Everything is prepped and ready, from lighting to props. Clients come in, we shoot, they leave. The next family comes in. Smooth, predictable, and no wasted energy. Now let's talk money. What should you include in your mini session pricing? First, a session fee that reflects the shorter time, but not so low that it undercuts your full sessions. Minis should be priced in a way that makes sense for you and feels like a no-brainer for clients. For example, if your full sessions are $400, your minis might be $225 for 15 minutes and 5 images. That way, minis are clearly smaller, but still profitable. And don't forget upsells. Include a way for clients to purchase extra images, prints, or products after the fact. That's where your revenue multiplies. The second element is limited images. Minis are not about giving the whole kitchen sink. They're about delivering a small, curated set that gives clients value but doesn't eat up your editing time. For example, you might include 5 edited images with the option to purchase more, or maybe you set it at 10 images, no more. The point is that minis create scarcity of time, of images, of availability. That scarcity is what makes them work. If you hand over 40 digitals for $200, you're not running minis, you're giving away your business. Next, you need a theme or hook. Minis without a purpose are just discounted sessions. The most successful minis I've ever run had a clear theme: fall leaves, holiday setups, spring blooms, back to school, even pet-focused days. Themes do two things. They give clients a reason to book now, and they make your marketing easier because you're not just saying, photos anyone. You're saying, come capture your kids in their Halloween costumes with a custom backdrop, or get your family Christmas card photos done in one simple, cozy session. That urgency and relevance drive bookings. Another thing to include: a streamlined client process. Minis only make sense if you batch them. That means one location, one backdrop, one setup. No driving all over town, no creating 10 different looks. You want to maximize efficiency so you can shoot back to back. That's where the profit comes in. When I run minis, I design the day so families are scheduled in 15-minute increments with 5 minutes buffer in between. Everything is prepped and ready, from lighting to props. Clients come in, we shoot, they leave. The next family comes in. Smooth, predictable, and no wasted energy. Now let's talk money. What should you include in your mini session pricing? First, a session fee that reflects the shorter time, but not so low that it undercuts your full sessions. Minis should be priced in a way that makes sense for you and feels like a no-brainer for clients. For example, if your full sessions are $400, your minis might be $225 for 15 minutes and 5 images. That way, minis are clearly smaller, but still profitable. And don't forget upsells. Include a way for clients to purchase extra images, prints, or products after the fact. That's where your revenue multiplies. So here's your checklist of what to include in a mini session. 10-20 minutes, no more. A set number of images with upsell options. A clear theme or seasonal hook. One location, one setup, streamlined process. A price that makes sense. Profitable, not panic low. A cap on how many you'll offer. A polished but simple client experience. That's the formula. And if you stick to it, minis stop being chaos and start being one of the smartest tools in your business. But here's where most photographers get stuck. They design minis well, but then they fumble when it comes to explaining them to clients. They overcomplicate it, or they downplay it, or they panic when asked about details. That's why in the next section, we're going to dive into the exact scripts you can use to talk about your mini sessions with confidence. No more rambling, no more underselling, just clear, client-friendly language that makes booking feel easy. So now that you know what should go into a mini session, the boundaries, the timing, the pricing, the theme, let's talk about the part that often feels the hardest: actually explaining minis to clients in a way that makes them want to book. Because here's what happens for a lot of photographers. They put together this beautiful mini session setup. They've got the location, the date, the theme, everything lined up. But when clients ask about it, they stumble. They start over-explaining, or they make minis sound like a lesser version of their real work, or they panic and give away too much. Suddenly, what could have been a smooth, easy sale turns into confusion. The way you talk about minis is just as important as how you design them. In fact, I'd argue that communication is the difference between a fully booked mini day and one where you're begging people to sign up last minute. So in this section, I want to give you actual scripts and phrasing you can use, not word-for-word lines you have to memorize, but frameworks you can adapt so your minis always sound clear, confident, and valuable. Let's start with the big question. How do you describe what a mini session is? Most clients don't know the industry lingo. If you just say, "I'm offering minis," half the people will think you're talking about miniature prints or tiny products, so you need to spell it out in client-friendly language. Here's a simple script. A mini session is a short and sweet version of a full photo session. It's about 15 minutes long, takes place at and includes of edited images. Minis are designed to give you a quick, easy experience with just enough photos they're perfect if you don't need a full session, but still want updated images. Notice how that hits the key points: time, location, images, purpose. It's straightforward, no jargon, no fluff. Now, what about when clients ask, how is this different from a full session? This is where you want to be clear without sounding defensive. Here's how I phrase it. Full sessions give us more time and flexibility, outfit changes, location options, and a bigger gallery of images. Minis are shorter, more focused, and designed to be quick. Think of minis as a highlight reel, while full sessions are the full movie. That analogy works wonders because people immediately get it. You're not saying minis are worse, you're saying they're different, and you're giving clients a mental picture they can hold on to. Let's move to pricing questions. If a client says, "Why is the mini session still $225 if it's only 15 minutes?" Here's your calm, confident response. That's a great question. Minis are priced based on the full experience, not just the minutes in front of the camera. You're still getting my editing, my setup, and my time. It's just condensed into a streamlined format. Minis also include of images with the option to purchase more. It's a smaller package, but the same level of quality. Again, notice there's no apology in that language. You're not saying, "I know it's expensive, I'm sorry." You're saying, "Here's what's included, here's why it's valuable." Another script you'll want in your back pocket is how to talk about upsells, because let's be real, most clients are going to want more than the 5 images included. But if you don't frame that clearly, they'll either feel blindsided later or they'll just settle for the bare minimum. Here's how you can phrase it up front. Your mini session includes 5 edited images of your choice. Most families end up loving more, so you'll also have the option to purchase additional images or upgrade to the full gallery afterward. That way you only buy what you love. Simple, clear, no pressure. You're planting the seed that extras are normal, so when they see their gallery, they're already prepared to say yes. Now let's talk about marketing language. How do you promote minis online without sounding like a used car salesperson? The trick is to focus on the client outcome, not just the logistics. Instead of posting mini sessions, 225s, 15 minutes, 5 images, you can write something like, "Looking for an easy way to update your family photos without spending hours in front of the camera? My fall mini sessions are designed for busy families who want beautiful seasonal portraits in just 15 minutes. You'll walk away with 5 images perfect for holiday cards or gifts, and the option to grab more if you fall in love with them all." See the difference? One is just facts. The other speaks to what clients actually care about: ease, efficiency, and outcomes. Another common question: can we use minis for newborn sessions or extended family shoots? This is where your boundary script comes in. Minis are designed for small, quick sessions with one immediate family. For newborns or extended families, I recommend booking a full session so we have enough time to capture everything properly. Minis just don't give us the space we need for those more involved sessions. Boundaries, clear and kind. You're not saying, "No, you can't." You're saying, "Here's why minis aren't the right fit, and here's the better option for what you want." Here's another powerful script for handling objections when someone says, "I think I'll just wait for the next mini session you do." Totally understand. Minis are a great option. Just keep in mind that I only run them a year, and they tend to book up quickly. If you know you want photos I'd recommend grabbing a spot now so you don't miss out. This plants the idea that minis are special and scarce. You're reinforcing that they're not an every weekend option. And finally, let's talk about how you close the conversation. When someone shows interest, you don't need a long pitch. You need a clear, confident nudge, something like, "Would you like me to send you the booking link so you can grab your spot?" That's it. Short, simple, action-oriented. Too many photographers talk themselves out of a sale by over-explaining at the end. Don't do that. Give the information, answer the questions, then offer the next step. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why do these scripts matter so much? Because every time you stumble or over-explain, you add friction. Friction makes people hesitate. When you're clear and confident, you remove that friction. Booking becomes easy. Clients don't feel like they're being sold to. They feel like they're being guided. So here's your exercise for this section. Take these scripts, tweak them into your own voice, and then practice them until they feel natural. Don't wait until a client asks you about minis to figure out what you'll say. Decide now. That way, when the question comes up, you can answer with calm confidence. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about having minis, it's about communicating minis in a way that makes clients excited to book. And that skill, clear, confident communication, will carry over into every part of your business. Here's the truth about mini sessions. They can be one of the most powerful tools in your business, but only if you position them correctly. If you treat minis as your main income source, they'll drain you. If you treat them as a strategic complement to your full sessions, they'll fuel your business. The difference isn't in the camera settings or the props, it's in your mindset and your boundaries. Let me take you back to one of my early years running minis. I thought, oh, these are so popular, I'll just do them all the time. I opened dates every month, ran different themes, and marketed them nonstop. And guess what happened? Clients started waiting for minis instead of booking full sessions. My calendar was packed, but my income wasn't. I was exhausted, editing hundreds of images for low returns and secretly dreading mini days because I knew I'd be wiped out. I had created a hamster wheel of my own making. The shift happened when I realized minis weren't supposed to replace full sessions. They were supposed to feed full sessions. Minis are a taste test, not the whole meal. They're the teaser trailer, not the full movie. Once I started framing them that way, everything changed. Here's the first mindset shift. Minis are a marketing tool, not a discount bin. Too many photographers treat minis as a way to slash prices just to get bookings. But when you position minis as a special seasonal opportunity, you change the energy. You're not begging for clients, you're offering something fun and exclusive. That mindset shift alone will keep you from resenting them. The second mindset shift, scarcity is your friend. Minis only work when they feel limited. If you run them every weekend, they lose their shine. Clients learn they can always wait for the next one. But if you say, I run fall minis one weekend in October and holiday minis one weekend in November, and that's it, suddenly those spots become valuable. People rush to grab them because they know they'll miss out if they don't. Scarcity protects your business and keeps minis from cannibalizing your full sessions. Now let's talk boundaries, because without them, minis will eat you alive. The first boundary is time. Remember, minis are 10, 20 minutes, not 45. Hold firm on that. Set a timer if you have to. Clients will always try to squeeze in just one more pose, but you have to keep things moving. The second boundary is images. If you promise 5, deliver 5. Don't sneak in 20 just because. That trains clients to expect more for less. Another key boundary, minis are for immediate families only. No extended families, no newborns, no complex setups. Those require full sessions. The moment you start bending those rules, you'll regret it. Minis thrive on simplicity. Protect that. Now let's tackle upselling, because this is where minis can actually grow your revenue without any pressure. Remember in part 2, we talked about planting the seed early. When clients know they can buy extras, they're more likely to do it. The beauty of minis is that they create built-in FOMO. Clients see their 5 images and think, but I love all 20. How can I let them go? That's not you manipulating them. That's you giving them options. Here's the mindset shift for upselling. You're not tricking clients, you're serving them. They came for a taste, but now they want more. If you give them a clear, easy way to get more, you're meeting their desire. That's a win-win. The key is to frame it with generosity, not pressure. For example, your session includes 5 images. Most families end up wanting the full gallery, so I offer a simple upgrade option. You can keep your 5, or if you love them all, you can grab everything for $200 more. Notice there's no hard sell there. You're just laying out the options. Clients feel empowered, not cornered. Another strategy is bundling. Maybe you offer holiday minis and suggest clients add a set of cards or ornaments featuring their photos. Maybe you create a mini upgrade that includes prints. These little add-ons feel natural in the context of minis and can increase your profit significantly. Now, let's address the fear many photographers have. What if minis cheapen my brand? This is a valid concern. If all you ever promote are minis, people will start associating you with quick and cheap. That's why it's crucial to always position minis as special events, not the core of your work. Minis should highlight your style, give clients a fun experience, and lead them toward full sessions. They're not the main meal, they're the appetizer that makes people hungry for more. I'll give you an example from my own business. I once had a family book a fall mini. They loved their images, but afterward, the mom said, I wish we had more time. Can we do a full session next year? That's exactly what you want. Minis aren't about replacing full sessions. They're about showing clients the value of the full experience. Here's another mindset piece. You don't have to do minis at all if they don't fit your business. Some photographers genuinely don't enjoy them, and that's okay. Minis, are a tool, not a requirement. But if you do choose to run them, do it on your terms. That means dates that work for you, pricing that supports you, and boundaries that protect your energy. So, what does a healthy mini session strategy look like? It looks like this: run minis 2 to 3 times a year max, tie them to themes that make sense for your clients, price them for profit, not panic, hold firm boundaries around time, images, and who they're for. Use them as a funnel into full sessions, not as your primary offering. Create simple upsell opportunities that feel natural. If you do that, minis stop being a source of burnout and start being one of the most fun, profitable parts of your year. And here's the last mindset shift I want to leave you with. You are the leader in your business. Clients don't set your boundaries. You do. Clients don't define your value. You do. Minis are just one of many ways you can serve your clients, but they're not in charge of how you run them. When you own that leadership role, everything else falls into place. So here's your homework for this final section. Decide right now how minis fit into your business. Will you run them twice a year, 3 times? What themes make sense for your audience? Write it down, set the dates, and commit to those boundaries. Then map out your upsell options so you're ready to go when clients fall in love with more images. And remember, you don't have to figure this out alone. If you want a place to practice your mini session scripts, get feedback on your setup, or see how other photographers are making minis profitable without burnout, come join us inside the Savvy Shutterbug community. It's where we take these conversations deeper, swap strategies, and support each other as we put them into practice. I'd love to see you there.